Instagram. What is going on? Okay. There we go. Come on. Ah! Let's just jump right in here. I am super excited to talk about this topic. Um, it's it's something that I feel is very, very important with our lives today. And I think that a lot of times we are so led as a society to not find the root cause of anything. Okay, it's been covered up. They don't want us to know, right? That would make the system fall apart. So that's what our broadcast today is about. It's about finding the root cause. And in this case, I'm talking about the world, the world situation we have going on right now. Okay. And this is all light. This is all exciting things. This is really a what may seem to be a very, very scary time is actually a time where everything is coming to the surface and it is transforming into something amazing. Okay, and I'm going to do a separate broadcast on that maybe Friday, if not next week, just about all the sources that I'm finding, of a bright visions of the future, I think is what I'm going to call it. So I'm super excited to do that. I have a lot of info already on that. But yeah, so let's just dive in. If you are on Instagram, I am sharing this on Zoom call. This is going to be uploaded to my YouTube channel I'm going to personally go through the article that I wrote and walk you through it. But the article link will always be in the link in my bio under blog. So you can always go there anytime to find that. And then the YouTube channel is there as well. Okay, so let's dive in. Okay, so finding the root cause. So imagine this. Your house has 12 rooms. Each has a light in it. Every time you put a new light bulb in the living room, it burns out. The kitchen can only withstand 20-watt bulbs. So it's dark, basically. The bathroom light and the master bedroom light cannot be on at the same time because it will blow a breaker. The closet light no longer turns on at all, so you have a battery-powered lantern hanging out in there. You can only run the dishwasher at night because it cannot be running when the garage door opens or it will stop the whole cycle. The surround sound in the living room must be plugged into a certain outlet because the other one stopped working. You have to unplug all the other things in order for it to work. The switch in the hallway for the stairs lights, for the stair lights now turns on the kids' bedroom light. So you have to make sure you don't touch that at night accidentally. Also, you could fall down the steps easily, and you have, because you can't see. Okay, so this is a lot of effort, and honestly, it's a lot of time, a waste of time, because it's so time consuming. But if you would just rewire the house, you wouldn't have to do that anymore. Okay, so when we manage the symptoms, we do not get rid of the problem, but get better at disguising it. It changes forms many times. It can get worse, but it never truly goes away. And a lot of times it's like a volcano and it continuously builds up, builds up, builds up until it explodes. Okay, so in this case, I'm talking about a house. This is just an example of mine. There are many ones that you can come up with, but you get what I'm saying. And a lot of this, when we think of root cause, a lot of times, we think of health. And finding the root cause, it's just how I'm wired. I want to understand why things are the way they are. What is the source of them? What is the source of all things? I'm a really big advocate for that. That's just me personally. I'm wired that way. And, it really started to come out whenever I, started digging into my health. And I was tired of managing the symptoms and I wanted answers. I wanted to fix the problem, not manage it forever with prescriptions and band-aids, right? And that mentality that I've had over my health has overflowed into the rest of areas of my life. And it was a gradual thing, but it just continuously overflowed. And it just created this awakening within myself to try to understand things better, especially within the world. And I'm very grateful for that because it's a mindset that I've developed that literally just shifts your perspective, and it takes you out of, it takes you out of the ego, it takes you out of judgment, it takes you out of comparing, it takes you out of all the things and kind of puts you in a place of understanding and a place of curiosity, which is what we need right now. And also just, again, that free thinking, that thought process, that we've talked about many times in these broadcasts, just of being a critical thinker. So again, this is the mindset that I am using when I am digging into the current world situation. And I know that most people are busy. They have so many things going on and have other things weighing on their plate. They take priority over digging into the worldly situations that may not appear to be directly affecting them. However, this situation is in everyone's face and it is affecting everyone. It's hindering their life, and now they not only have the time, but the desire to know the truth more than ever. So again, whenever we're busy, we don't really, we don't stop to think about things all the time, right? We have a lot going on. So we're not going to sit there and try to pick apart the world problems, unless we're intrigued by it or brought to our awareness. Okay. So before this, I didn't know anything about the situations that were going on in the world. I had an idea, but I didn't know all of the things. Okay. I if you're familiar with what I've talked about, I knew whenever this started, it had part of the situation was within the vaccine industry. I learned about that years ago. And again, I dug into that and found the root cause of that situation. And so that brought me kind of a little bit more ahead of the game whenever I was facing this one, because I kind of had an inkling and an understanding of the basis of things. However, there was so much that I didn't know, and it's really interesting. But anyways, so now that people are at home, they have time on their hands, and they may not be at home as much anymore, but over the past couple of months we have been, right? And we've been digging, most of us, people that want answers, people that want truth, we've been digging, right? We're not just going to sit by, be a sheep, and, let everyone else tell us, oh yeah, what we should think and what we should do, right? I don't do that. And I'm not going to portray to you guys that I do that, because I don't. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this, to show up and to help you guys, just show you where I have led myself. So we take this mentality of finding the root cause, and we must look at the symptoms of the world we are living in right now. Okay, let's talk about a few of them. This is just a few. Okay, we have mental illness, we have wars, we have division, we have illusion of race, we have traumatic programming, we have scarcity mindsets, we have perpetual fear, we have chronic disease, we have poverty, we have a corrupted food system, we have puppet show politics, and so much more. Okay, and I'm sure that you guys can name like 500 other ones, right? If you just stop and think for a second of all the symptoms of this current world that we are living in, right? And we must ask ourselves, do we want to manage the problems we have in this world or fix the root cause of them? Okay, the root cause is being shoved in our face right now. It is up in front, and if you're not acknowledging it, then you're just being ignorant to it, right? And I mean, it is literally in front of our faces. So here's some things that we honestly need to ask ourselves, and this might be an unpopular opinion, an unpopular thing to do, but we have to uncover it. We have to uncover the symptoms to get to the problem, and that's not always nice. It's kind of like, people that say, oh, if I'm really sick, with a really chronic disease, like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It's kind of like that with the situations of the world, that people turn their heads and they don't want to know, because if they know, then their mind is expanded, and as we've talked about before, once your mind expands, it can't go back. So it could really, really hinder your illusion of reality, right? And your mindset, and it's going to present you with a choice to open up and accept things or to shove them away. Okay, either way, it's going to hurt, right? But what's going to hurt worse? Is it going to be covering them up forever, even knowing, or, ripping the Band-Aid off? So we are in the process of ripping the Band-Aid off of everything right now. And so many people are waking up to this. So many people are ready for it. And there's also a lot of people that aren't. It's all going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And each situation that we have, each crisis that we have showing up is another level of awakening for a different type of person. So we don't know what's going to get everyone's attention, but this is why things are happening this way. Okay. So do we want to manage the chaos by putting out the fires or take away the firewood? Do we want to live in fear of our health or take away the people inhibiting true wellness? Do we want to continue to give money to people using it for harm or take out the people inhibiting true prosperity for all? Do we want to stay, sorry guys, do we want to stay in the dark and turn our heads, but let the knowing haunt us at night forever, or step into the light and find new solutions? Do we want to keep giving our money to corporations who use it against us, or take a look at what we value and find alternatives? Do we want to continue being afraid of repercussions and censorship for voicing our truth, or get louder and embrace our right of free speech on any platform? Do we want to support politics by only accepting as truth what we hear on MSM, or find out what they are corrupted, why they are corrupted, and look for the evidence ourselves? Do we want Jumanji every 4 years, or do we want to remove the people creating the game? Do we want our kids to continue to look up to these celebrities that have deceived us for so long as role models, or become those role models for them ourselves by living in truth, liberty, and sovereignty? Do we want doctors who can be easily bought off on the forefront of our health, or do we want to replace them with doctors who believe in the Hippocratic oath they took? Do we want to continue to feel this emotional pain in so many parts of our body all the time, or go inward and heal the wound where it started? I'm an advocate for asking the hard questions and having an unpopular opinion. Totally aware of that. I'm an advocate for questioning the narrative, even when you get a "how dare you" glare. And guys, if you're with me, you know what I'm talking about. I'm an advocate for growth, and I feel growth happening not just within me, but on a global scale right now. This is how we get to the root cause. This is how we do the shadow work, and this is how we heal the world. There's so much going on in every single scenario that I've listed here. So much uncovering, and these are the questions that we have to ask ourselves and be honest with ourselves. These are the things that are literally coming to the surface. These are what we are unveiling right now. And there are so many, so much evidence to all of it. It's there if we want it, it's happening whether we acknowledge it or not. But, we really, really, really need to just be honest with ourselves. We need to be adults and, not hide from it, and I'm going to be honest with you. There are some things that before, I was like, I just don't want to know. Right. Or that you feel like you know enough, and that it's not right. And enough to know that you want to change it, or that you want to be an advocate for the change. Right. So just to touch on a couple of these, I think that with all of this, again, you have people that are going to still believe this, everything's a conspiracy theory, literally, and, backlash, and they're going to back themselves into a corner until they can't do it anymore. And they're not going to be able to do it for much longer. Okay. Because the truth is coming out. So, I've been called a conspiracy theorist many times. Whatever, have at it. I don't care. I'm not buying into the narrative that they're feeding us. Okay. And there's a reason why many people don't. It's so obvious right now, though. It is so obvious as to what is actually going on. Okay. And again, with all this coming to the surface, this is coming to the surface for a reason. There is a plan. And it is so amazing. And I'm grateful that a lot of this is coming to the surface right now. And I know that a lot of other people are as well, because not just because, within these situations, there's a lot of people that have been fed a lot of backlash for having certain beliefs, but just for the simple fact that like everyone deserves to know the truth. Everyone deserves to have free will, to live in their body and sovereignty, and get to the root cause of all the things. And that is what we are doing. So whenever we want to know why there's mental illness, why there's all these things, why is there an illusion of race, why are we having traumatic programming from a very early age, like these are genuine questions that need to be answered. And they are questions that a lot of us have asked for many years, and they are showing up. So especially so just touching on a few of these. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so about do we want to keep giving our money to corporations who use it against us, or take a look at what we value and find alternatives? This one was really interesting to me. And we have all these big corporations, and yeah, a lot of them are crumbling right now. And that's not a bad thing. And so many people are feeling like, oh my God, what's happening? Like, it's a good thing, because these corporations, if you dig into it, unfortunately, what Amazon is doing, what Google has done, what all these top corporations, what Disney has done, and you're not going to like what you find and you think, and Netflix, okay, we'll put that up there too. There were lots of things that I learned recently, and I'm like, I can't support this anymore, and it can be overwhelming, but you want to make sure, as I've said before, you vote with your dollar. When you vote with your dollar, you don't know what these corporations are doing with it, okay? And we're learning what they're doing with it now. We are learning, and it's not good. So taking the power away, okay? And that is what is happening right now. Let's see. Okay, so let's talk about the being afraid of repercussions on censorship, or get louder and embrace our right for free speech. Okay, so let's talk about how unconstitutional this is. And as I've said, these days are over for the censorship, but I do believe that there's going to be another social media platform that is going to arise. And I don't know personally. I feel like probably these ones that we are currently on are probably not going to last very much longer, which is why I have everything on my website at this point. But I could be wrong. However, the people that are creating this censorship are being taken out. And we have to ask ourselves, like, if there were a lot of people fighting for the censorship. And now it's to the point where, if it's censored, we know it's truth. Like, how more obvious can it get, right? It's kind of ridiculous at this point. But, we all deserve to share our story. We all deserve to share the truth at any time. And everyone's looks different. Just because yours doesn't fit a narrative does not mean that you should not be able to speak about it. It's that simple. And so this is what it's coming down to. Okay, so about politics. Do we want to support politics by only accepting the truth of what we hear on MSM, or find out why they are corrupted and look for the evidence ourselves? Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. I honestly was not into politics. I didn't understand it. I didn't feel like I had enough information on it until now, when it's in your face and you're digging. Okay, and I have dug so deep into this, and holy shit, right? I was pretty neutral in the past ish, not really. I don't want to say really neutral. I wasn't as aware as I was now. And I've done my own research, and it's amazing what you find whenever you are not listening to the narrative. And again, finding what's really going on. And it's amazing. And when you disconnect from that matrix reality that we are, the 3D matrix reality that we are living in, it's completely crumbling right now. And you find your own truth, and you find your own information. It's really amazing. This is another important thing that, and this is going to be a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow, is do we want doctors who can be easily bought off on the forefront of our health? Now, there are many doctors in this situation that are being brought to the surface because they are easily bought off by what they're being offered right now, right? And I'm sure that we've all heard of them. We've all heard about it. It's happening. Are those the people that we want to take care of us? Not really, no. And for us personally, like, we are a big advocate for functional medicine doctors because they actually are all about your health. So that's the route that we've personally taken. However, so many other people give their permission for their body over to their doctors and they don't even think about it. They don't even think about, and I'm sure that we've all seen this, like, it's not about the patient anymore. It's about the time, it's about the money, right? And that's not every single doctor. There are so many good ones out there still. My kids have a really great doctor and I'm so grateful for that. But there are a lot out there that they don't care. They don't care. And why? So I've had people question me about, well, but they went to this prestigious medical school. They went to here, they went to there. Okay, here's the root cause of that. You got to find out who funds that medical school. Is it Big Pharma? What's their agenda? Right? And these are the questions that you have to dig. You have to ask yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. Okay, they're not going to be open and honest with this stuff. So these are just a little bit of backtracking and how you get to the root cause of things. And now, looking at, do we want Jumanji every 4 years, right? Whenever there's an election. Why is that? Right? Like, why? And it's pretty obvious, right? It's ridiculous. And it's obvious. And now people are waking up to that because now you see a pattern. People who didn't see a pattern before, you see a pattern now. So again, get to the root cause of things. And once we do this, we are just able to, this is the shadow work that we are all doing together. We are collectively working together, whether, you're a light worker like myself and you physically know that you're doing this, and going into these dark areas and pulling this stuff, out of your mind and transforming it and bringing it to light, or whether you are doing it when you sleep and you don't even know it. We are all doing this together. So as these root causes show up, it's going to shake a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be really pissed off. A lot of people are going to be, upset that they were fed a lie for so long. So I feel like always be compassionate about that, but never stop sharing the truth. Never stop being a light for the people that have no guidance in this. And this is going to come as a big slap in the face. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. But again, the root cause, that's where the solutions are. That is where you can see things with clarity. You can see things with an open mind, and you can make informed decisions from there. Okay, so that's all for today. Like I said, I think I'm going to jump on later this week or the beginning of next week and share my visions of the future. I have so many good things to share. There is so many good things happening right now. And if you follow me on Instagram, you see me share all of the kind of in the light things in my stories. And I'm going to continue to do that. So, okay. Well, if you have any questions on this, again, just send me a DM or leave a comment on the blog. This is going to live on my website at essentiallyresilient.com. And if it gets deleted off of YouTube, I'm going to find another way to open it. So, all right, guys. Well, you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and I will talk to you later.